Dale, thanks for chatting to us. First of all, can you explain the decision this morning that led to David Horseman and Lewis Carey parting company with the club?
Yeah, it's one of them regrettable things. I think the good people, done a good job here, worked hard, but we haven't had the results. We are where we are in the relegation zone, nearly halfway through the season, and really it's a decision driven by that we need to make a change at the top in order to turn around our results.
I think David was always keen to point out that it was a long-term project here, but did it just become a little bit too serious, the results, and you've got to focus on the short term?
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't have been an issue just not vying for promotion, for example, but it's fighting to prevent relegation is the issue. It is a long-term project, and we've got a history of giving managers, I think BBC were just telling me 4 or 5 years, and that's when, you can sit mid-table and it's fine. That's part of our long-term approach and thinking, but we can't sit in the relegation zone and say that's okay, we've got time. We clearly don't have time, we've got half a season.
And it's led to Troy Deeney becoming head coach, which was announced this morning. What is he going to bring to the role?
Well, I hope he brings a fresh approach. Well, I know that he will. I've spoken to him. He's got his own ideas about our strengths and weaknesses and how we should set up our formation, our tactical approach, that kind of stuff. New leadership in football often brings a change in outcome. We've all seen that before. We've got the transfer window as well open to us. We've begun work on that a few weeks ago. Troy's been part of that, as David and Louis were as well, because it's a club approach to recruitment, and we're recruiting the kind of players that we want as a club. So that will continue. It's an opportunity for us to backfill a couple of long-term injury spots that we've had since the summer. We've had a lot of injuries, but some of them are long-term. So it's a chance to strengthen on the field. And Troy brings a fresh leadership, a fresh pair of eyes, fresh approach, and a lot of football experience as well. It's got to be said. I'm certain that the squad will look up to him as a footballer. Somebody knows what he's talking about, and we've got a good squad of players. We shouldn't be where we are really. We think we can do better. Should do better.
We're 23rd in League Two at the minute, and I suppose fans will be saying maybe we could have got a head coach with hundreds of EFL games under their belt. What would you say to that?
Yeah, we could have done. I mean, Troy's part of the team here. He's been here, many months. He knows the squad and the staff. He knows the setup, and we know him. There's always an advantage when you promote from inside the organisation. You take a chance when you bring somebody in from outside that you don't really know outside of a couple of hours of meeting them.
And it's our 5th head coach in around 18 months. How much does the club need a little bit of stability at the moment?
I'd love to. Yeah, we do need stability. Ever since we won League Two a couple of seasons ago, it all went pear-shaped for us. People came for everything that we had. Our head coach, our director of football, our best players, they all went that summer. You'll remember that. And we never really recovered from that. We had the relegation season off the back of that, and now we are where we are. And we're trying to learn on the fly as we have all of these experiences and build the longer-term infrastructure of the club, which we've been doing. In terms of recruitment, we should see a big outcome difference to that now. That team's been operating since the summer, and at the same time make the adaptations that we need to make in the season to stay in this league and get ourselves ready to push back up into League One.
So you've spoken to Troy this afternoon. What is his brief at the moment?
Change results, isn't it? I think we've got all the ingredients here. He thinks so as well. We'll add a few in the January window. It's a fresh approach. I think he's going to change the formation to something that he thinks will work better for the players that we have and in this league. And what he says makes sense to me.
How much do plans change for January now? Because as you mentioned, the planning would have been going on for some weeks. So does anything change in that sense?
Doesn't really, unless, of course, the news brings approaches from players that we weren't talking to before. But in terms of the positions on the pitch that we're looking to recruit into, that hasn't changed. Troy was part of that, as I said before anyway. We've got a club view on that, and we know where we need to strengthen, so that won't change.
And it's been a difficult 18 months for the football club. A big game on Friday here at home to Gillingham. What's your message to the fans at the moment?
Come on down and get behind us, get behind Troy and the boys, and we can do this together.